The Cask of Amontillado from a legal perspective. The authorities detained Montresor and put him on trial for the murder of his friend after finding Fortunato's bones in the family catacombs. Many people were interested in learning the truth about the terrible incident, which attracted much attention to the case. The prosecutor provided the jury with several pieces of evidence during the trial to establish Montresor's guilt. The lawyer reminded the jury that Montresor had intended to exact revenge on Fortunato when he committed the crime. Additionally, the prosecution called witnesses who said Montresor had been seen with Fortunato before his abduction and had been acting strangely ever since. The prosecutor asked the jury to convict Montresor of the crime he committed, contending that his acts were planned and intentional. In his closing remarks, the defense legal representation said that the prosecution's circumstantial evidence was inadequate to establish Montresor's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. He emphasized that the evidence was circumstantial and that no eyewitnesses had really seen Montresor do the murder. Additionally, the defense raised the possibility that Montresor was acting in self-defense or that Fortunato's death resulted from an accident. Both arguments were heard before the jury retired to consider its decision. They addressed the points both lawyers put out after carefully reviewing the facts. The jury returned after many hours of discussion with a unanimous guilty judgment. They concluded that the prosecution's evidence was persuasive and that the defense lacked sufficient evidence to support another perspective of the circumstances leading to Fortunato's death. Montresor was given a life sentence without the chance of release. The trial received extensive media coverage, which generated questions about the nature of vengeance and the effects of letting rage and resentment rule one's life. The situation served as a reminder of the value of using the judicial system to pursue justice rather than intervening directly. The Montresor family, who had been renowned for their wealth and prominence in the town, was significantly impacted by Montresor's conviction. Due to their damaged reputation, many individuals were hesitant to do business with them. Some even advised them to change their names to distance themselves from the convicted murderer. Montresor remained imprisoned for several years without communicating with anybody or providing any justification for his conduct. No one was certain of what had motivated him to do such a horrible murder, although many people had their theories. The Cask of Amontillado's legacy persists, with many individuals citing the story as a warning against the risks of storing resentments and pursuing vengeance. Some have even claimed that Montresor is a metaphor for the corrupting effects of privilege and wealth. The narrative serves as a warning against the repercussions of unrestrained power. Even though the case was controversial, many individuals took comfort in knowing that justice was done. Fortunato's legacy endured, and his passing served as a lesson on the transience of life and the value of treating others with respect and compassion. According to the prosecution, Montresor committed the crime deliberately and with premeditation. However, they have not shown any evidence that establishes this beyond the possibility of a doubt. There are several ways to interpret the data, and nothing suggests that Montresor intended to murder anyone. Moreover, Montresor's guilt cannot be shown by any direct evidence. The prosecution's witnesses could not pin down Montresor as the person behind Fortunato's disappearance.